you for the reading. That was awesome. Thank you very much. This has been a fun first round, and you guys have been double plus cool, and yay. And there is no Dan Weinberg here, and Mohammed's just here to listen. Thank you very much for that. But I figured I would read in the second round a couple of poems from the brand new Down in the Dirt collection issue book that has just come out on the 1st of May. It is called In Plain View. In Plain View. Voila. So I had to have a globe on it that has, you know, nature and trees and like with high rises right behind it all the time. So that was the theme for this one. It's titled In Plain View. I thought that I would read a couple of poems from this for you. Some people know that when I had one gentleman who would send short stories that would be about elements in the periodic table. So I would follow up by including a poem about the periodic table in there, and that's what this first one is going to be. And it is, and I hear the barking. By the way, I think Ryan was noting that somebody was still unmuted, John F. McMillan, and I think that was you. And I don't know what the noise was, but he was bothered by it, and then you had left. And so I don't know what the noise issue was, but hopefully it was okay for him to finish reading. But anywho, that got that out of the way. First one I'd like to share from this book is titled Hydrogen. When I thought of our relationship, when I thought of your relationship to me, I thought of a molecule of hydrogen. How you were afraid of me, but also how you were so obsessed with me. And although you always kept your distance, you were always revolving around me. And when we eventually fused together, you were like a hydrogen bomb, forcing me to push everyone I loved, forcing me to hurt everyone close to me. And that is when I snapped and lost it. Because I couldn't let you use me like this. I couldn't let you cause so much destruction. I couldn't let everything I valued be destroyed. I know it was a basic attraction with us, but although you might not have liked it, I think it was better when you just kept your distance. Hydrogen. Hydrogen, voila. You know, it's a challenge trying to come up with poetry for elements, but there you go. This second one that I'm going to share in this book for you is a poem titled Now That You Got Me. Now That You Got Me. You know, I'm really getting a little pissed at this lack of attention I've been getting from you. I mean, I know you talked about how you needed me more in your life, how you needed me around to make this place we now share look more homey, make it more like we belonged here together. But now that you got me, you barely pay any attention to me at all. It's been getting so depressing now. I think I'd like to wallow in liquor, but you only occasionally bring me a drink I need. I often feel parched to my veins, but no one hears my screams, and no one comes to help me when I need it most. I've become an afterthought to you now, I think, but I thank you for your occasional effort. You know how I like to hang out in the sun, and I think it's cute how you try to take care of me and then clean me up when I'm all exhausted, but maybe I wouldn't seem to be so on the edge like that if you cared about me more often. And the thing is, just feeling you near me, sensing your breath, gives me life. And I hate how my dependence on you is so basic and banal, but I seem like a groupie. And no, I'm not a stalker because I wait for you to make your move on me. But I need you to make that move. I really need you there for me, or I think I might die. You said you wanted to bring some life to your existence, and I think in a way we're both somehow dependent on each other. Please, you don't hear me when I beg, but maybe we can somehow both bring a little more life into each other once again. I'll let a moment pass, and then I'll say the end of that poem. This poem is about a houseplant. I'm seeing reactions. The whole thing from a houseplant. I need your breath. You don't give me the drink I need, and now you just ignore me. And I did this poem was about series, and a while ago I'm like, this is a poem about, and I see Richard laughing. This is a poem about a houseplant. So I thought you might get a kick out of that one. And those were two poems from and now I close my book, my Down in the Dirt May 2022 book called In Plain View. And then, lucky you guys, I have to get that book out of the way. I am going to share with you one poem from the January to April issue collection book from Down in the Dirt that is titled The Ice That Was. Another accepted title within the book, and this was a chunk of ice that John caught out of the ocean once, and I just bumped up the color and like, the ice that was. So anywho, this is The Ice That Was, and I thought I would share, especially because I did one periodic table poem for you, I thought I would do one that is in this book as well for you, and it's a more deep one, I suppose. It's called White Phosphorus. Seeing bombs from Vietnam and the white smoke rising, with each bomb exploding, I knew that smoke. It was Willie Pete, white phosphorus. You couldn't put it out once it started burning. This stuff would destroy the forests foreign for our U.S. troops. I know you can't understand, but I wanted you to know that I haven't felt close to anyone or anything in years. It sounds sick, but seeing that footage, seeing that white smoke from that file footage, it brought it all back to me. It brought the emotions flooding back to me like it was yesterday. Everything that seems so volatile about that war, in a way, has become a part of me, right down to my DNA. You look at your TV screen and think it makes no sense, but it's a part of me. I know I'm old now. I know it's only a small part of me, but I know I need it. I can't explain why, but I do. When you see the destruction of Willie Pete, yeah, I knew what it was, white phosphorus, but all of us just called it that. It was just easier to say it then, but when you see the destruction of that white phosphorus, you think of it as, something like on some existential level, like, oh, violence is bad. But when I see those bombs going off, and when I think of what it was like to live in that war, that Willie Pete, that white phosphorus, to us, that was our key to getting through that hell. You can't understand, but that was the closest thing we had to getting out alive. White phosphorus. And I won't show you the silly image that was with it, but I do have back in the day when I didn't have, can I do this vertically? I would do images for periodic table poems, and I did that for one for each one. Back in the day, I had that was my jump photo. That was something that was on the Kuypers.com page, and that would like be representing for every single element of what element that would be happening to be doing back in the day. But anywho, that was the one poem that I thought I'd share with you from The Ice That Was from Down the Dirt for you guys. So round two can now officially begin because I finished off some poems from the brand new issues of Down the Dirt and CC&D. So I hope that the next gentleman up, John F. McMullen, and I should actually just check before we go into the second round, is there anybody that has to be leaving early? Is somebody like Richard Kent saying, can you bump me up and be a little earlier? I know Julian's going to be right after John, but I just want to make sure everybody's okay on time in case they needed to get out early. If there isn't a problem, then the cycle order will stay the way it is. And nobody is saying everything, so I think everything's fine. I get a thumbs up, so yippee skippy.